So you turn now. Stop it. Stop the war. Not just in Snake Island, but the whole of Ukraine. Leave the Ukrainian people in peace. Return the land to them. Then you will live long, and heaven may forgive you. Stop all this agony. Stop all these atrocities. History will write your name in gold. God will smile upon you, your loved ones, and your country. Make Russia great again, with benevolence, with heroism, with righteousness, with high morals, not with war, not by causing suffering and pain. Return peace to your country, Russia. Return peace to Ukraine for the Ukrainian people.
Please continue watching to find out more.
On Friday, July 1st, 2022, while still in her intensive meditation retreat for the sake of the world, our most beloved Supreme Master Ching Hai kindly called Supreme Master Television team members and graciously shared some good news and read a story for the Russian people from a treasury of Jewish folklore compiled by TRUYIN during the conference. The team also reported more good news about Ukraine as well as from some NATO countries.
Hey.
Hello, Master.
Hi, Master.
How are you guys?
We're good, Master.
We're good, Master. How is Master?
Okay, very happy.
Good to hear, Master.
Yes.
What caused you to be so happy, Master?
Oh, it's a pleasure to take a cold shower. It really makes me happy. It's humid and hot today,
Yes.
I don't know how it's with you there. Though it's not much sun, but it's hot, and I was doing something outside. And there was some sun. There are many things to make me happy today.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Number one, we have many better news from Ukraine. And number two, there was some sun, so I can hang my clothes outside my washing.
Wonderful.
And number three, I took a very cold shower, and wow, it's really like a blessing when you can do that.
Yes, Master.
That's great.
Sometimes you cannot. Sometimes there's no time to do that. Even if it's hot and sweaty, but still don't have time. But when you have time and you are hot from the weather, and then you can have a shower, then wow, it's really a pleasure, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And number four, I incidentally found a lost vegan ice cream from a long time ago. And it's really enjoyable when you find it. Yes.
Yes.
It's a lucky day today, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Look for Master.
Yes, and the ice cream, those with the crunchy chocolate outside?
Oh, yes.
The inside is white vanilla.
Wow.
You had them also.
Yes.
That's good. So it's a very good day. I'm going to tell you some good news, okay? And then I will read you a good story. Huh?
Oh, thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master.
No, actually, I want to read that story for the Russians. Don't be jealous, okay?
Okay.
Now, I read you some good news. It's never truly a good news because it came from the war zone. But still, meaning better news in the war.
Yes.
Now, Ukraine has won a big release of 144 soldiers in so-called the biggest prisoner swap of the war. These soldiers really desperately need treatment because they're badly wounded psychologically as well. So it's a good time that they can go home and get taken care of as any hero deserves. So it's a good news, but not like great news. It's just better compared to the war in Ukraine, that's all.
Yes, Master.
Master.
And another news is that the Prime Minister of England, His Excellency Boris Johnson, promised he will send more land, sea, and air troops to Russia's borders to stop Putin.
Oh, that's great.
We talked about that a long time ago, almost in the beginning of the war, right?
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
And now they do it. Wow. What good people? Yeah, they should have done it long ago.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
And the Estonian Prime Minister also said that Russia will not use military means to oppose Finland and Sweden NATO accession. Yeah, okay, very good. So that's a good news.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
But I don't really like NATO expanding like that.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
It's just a force of war.
Yes.
And then they did nothing much to help Ukraine. That's why I don't like it.
Yes,
Yes.
Amassing members and amassing forces and then did not much.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I don't like. It is all because of the Secretary General, the Chief of NATO.
Yes, Master.
Anyway, the main person, at least one of the chief people deciding things and just standing around doing nothing. That's what I hate. So this is not really good of NATO. Expanding and then collecting members and collecting more forces, power and prestige, but doing nothing.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
Not practically. The help from America and UK had nothing to do with this Stoltenberg. He did not have any guts to do anything. Just the UK and the US decided to do it.
Yes, Master.
It's a little bit late also. So many people died, suffered, and were wounded, and millions have become homeless. Thousands of babies, children, and young people died. That is terrible. And NATO's cost with even. They did not let Ukraine join NATO to protect the nation. And still they don't let them.
Yes, Master.
Finland, Sweden have no problem yet. Immediately welcome, already in.
Yes.
And Ukraine needs the helping hand, doing nothing.
Yes.
The history of humans will curse this guy, Stoltenberg. He will not have much good for not very long. Even if he does. In hell he won't.
Oh.
Because I am not for war.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Just like if I'm a neighbor of somebody, I would never think of going out and beating somebody, using my force or showing off my power in any way.
Yes.
But if my neighbor is beaten by somebody or robbed for no reason, then I am coming to help him or her.
Right.
Yes.
I will, even if I risk my life.
Yes, Master.
So this has nothing to do with being peaceful or anything.
Yes.
Master.
Especially if you keep talking in a peaceful tone and you want to make peace and the bully does not stop. He continues to beat up the neighbors and rob their things.
Yes, Master.
Then I gotta do something.
Yes.
Right.
Or I just stand there and watch. What do you think?
No, we must act.
No,
Master,
Master.
you
do what you can.
Gotta do something.
Right.
Of course. So this is the same with NATO. They just stand by doing nothing and even go up and say, we will only protect our own members. Yeah, of course you protect your members, just like I would protect my family. But if my neighbors are in danger, I gotta help them.
Right.
Yes.
So this is disgusting, deplorable, appalling, small man mentality.
Yes, Master.
Also, I say something like passive brutality, because we just stand by and watch us. People suffer. It's so obvious already.
Yes, Master.
Ukraine even asked for help, like for no-fly zone. Still, they don't do it.
Yes.
If Sweden or Finland have problems with Russia, I'm not sure if this so-called chief of NATO will even do anything. I don't know if we can even trust him.
Yes,
Master.
There's another news, more active news for stopping the war. The top U.S. spy says that there is a grinding struggle ahead for Russia in Ukraine.
Oh.
It's funny they say that, because on one hand it seems like Russia is advancing in some of the eastern areas and continue and gain in some pockets.
Yes.
And the Ukrainians had to retreat to save their lives.
Yes.
But still, these are the spy people.
Yes.
They will know the inside stuff. I don't dare say anything. I don't even dare to tell you whether or not it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. But I know.
Yes, Master.
I know. You will see it when it comes. And then I will tell you. Yeah. What's the use of telling you now? It's not there yet, right? And in Russia, of course, the people are still protesting the war directly, even in front of the TV or with Putin's regime or whatever.
Oh, yes, Master.
And many of the Russian army's wives demand that their husbands be returned to Russia. Yeah. Because they don't want them to stay in Putin's brutal war in Ukraine. The wives say that their husbands are exhausted mentally, physically, and morally as well. Is it true?
Yes.
If they know it's not a just war, they would feel mentally and morally struggling, as well as physical exhaustion.
Yes, Master.
Your mental state will affect your body as well, affect your physical state.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
That's normal. I have others that I have noted down here. Russia running out of the Snake Island. There was a very continuous battle over there. The Snake Island, remember?
Yes, Master.
Go F yourself, that's Snake Island. And now Russia ran away in speedboats.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
The Ukraine says that they won because that is a strategic war area. It's not just a small island because it's a border front.
Yes, Master.
And that island will control the Black Sea.
Yes, Master.
They have been fighting for that Snake Island when Russia took over up to now. And now they say they won.
Острів Зміїний – це стратегічний пункт, і це значно змінює ситуацію в Чорному морі. Це ще не гарантує безпеку, це ще не гарантує, що ворог не повернеться, але це вже значно обмежує дії окупантів. Крок за кроком ми витиснемо їх з нашого моря, з нашої землі, з нашого неба.
They thank the army for fighting. The government and the people of Ukraine thank the army for winning it, for being insistent and fighting and now winning. So the Russian army ran out of Snake Island on the speedboats. Ukraine says they were winning. But Russia explained that they left as a goodwill gesture so that Ukraine can export their grain. I do hope so. I do hope so. Because if Ukraine can export millions of tons of grain, then many millions of people will not starve to death around the world.
Yes, Master.
So this is good news. Better news, yeah.
Yes, Master.
But I don't know why Russia continues to fight. Putin is already dead. More of them know now. Before, just several of them knew in the Kremlin, but now many more of them know already.
Yes, Master.
So why do they continue to fight? Maybe this is a sign that they're going to go, starting from Snake Island, hopefully.
Hopefully, Master.
Yes, that will be good.
It's a quick good news.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master.
I guess there's some more, but I haven't got time yet for everything. So, is there anything you want to say? Any good news on your part? Did you read any? Or no time?
Yes, we have some good news.
Some?
Yes.
Tell me.
Russia admitted that they are running out of weapons in Ukraine. And Turkey is now supporting Finland and Sweden's joining of NATO.
That's good, very good. It's been some time already. It's good. But Erdogan gained something. Just make a win-win for him. That's why. NATO made a win for Erdogan. That chief again. I'm telling you. Nothing good about that guy. Okay, what else?
The EU and Ukraine have signed a new road transport agreement. Ukrainian carriers will no longer need special permits to entry, transit, and transportation of goods to EU member states. Ukrainian drivers' licenses will also be recognized by the EU.
That's good. So they can quickly transport some food into the EU area.
Yes.
That's very good.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, because they already accepted. Ukraine has a candidate already.
Yes, right.
Yes, that's right.
That means Ukraine we remember, as well as the other countries.
Yes, Master.
Okay, very good. Yeah, any other things?
Yes, one more. Nearly half of internally displaced Ukrainians have returned home. The International Organization for Migration reported that over 5.5 million people have returned to their homes in Ukraine.
Oh, wonderful. Many areas are peaceful now.
Yes.
Only the east is still in trouble.
Right.
And some are still under Russian occupation, but other places are still with Ukraine independently.
Yes.
I just hope they return all of this land to them so all the people can come back and do their jobs as farmers to nourish the world and be happy. They're not doing anything wrong ever. They're just mostly farmers doing God's commands.
Yes, Master.
God told us you should take care of yourself by the sweat of your brow and your labor, planting things.
Yes, Master.
Maybe that's why most farmers, they're happy. Happy family, happy marriage. That's what the research said.
Yes.
Another thing that made me happy today was that I read in the news that there's one lady. She was 107 at that time.
Oh, wow.
And they asked her, what's the secret? She said, not married.
The woman you're about to meet was born in 1912. Today, her friends and neighbors threw a big celebration to mark her 107th birthday.
She ain't got no walking cane. She's not in the wheelchair. And she does all her shopping. And she's just awesome. I think the secret of 107, I never got married. I think that's the secret.
And I thought, whoa, just like me now. So that will make you happy and live long.
That's right. Yes.
Some people would ask, what for? One of the secrets is to live alone, not get married. So I wanted to convey to all of you guys in-house Supreme Master Television workers, because you all are not married. That's probably you will live long. And Supreme Master Television will stay longer. That was a happy news.
Yes.
We are practicing it.
Yes, Master.
Okay, anything else?
Not from us, Master.
Okay, good. I'm going to read a story for the Russian people, not just for you.
Yes, Master.
Thank you, Master.
One moment, I'll come back. Okay, this is a story from the Jewish folklore again.
Yes.
I like these books because they have some just short stories, simple and very meaningful.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
So very easy for me to read. Not easy to translate, but easy to read for me. So now, there is a story about King David, who mourned his son. The story begins like this. The son of King David got ill very seriously. Once King David knew that the sickness of his son was very, very tremendously dangerous. He took off his crown from his head, he took off his kingly attire, and then he dressed himself in very simple, poor people clothes. He went into a very, very quiet corner of the palace, and he sat down on the earth floor. He didn't want to eat. He refused all the food. He only read scripture every day, one day after another, praying to God to spare his son and make him well. All of his officials, even those elderly and others, came to him, begging him to please stand up and eat a little bit with them. But he refused. He just sat continuously where he was. And then on the seventh day, the son of King David passed away. So much he was praying and not eating, not drinking, nothing, just sitting there, and still his son died. It happened like that to many people as well, not just King David.
Yes.
But this is life, c'est la vie, it's like that. No matter what we want, God's will be done.
Yes, Master.
We can pray, we can beg, we can do anything to show our sincerity and our deep request. But still, the universal system will not always do what we want.
That's right.
Yes, Master.
So similarly, we are praying for world vegan every day, huh?
Right.
Yes, that's
Right.
And world peace as well, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
It's our duty to pray, but it's not God's duty to listen to us.
Yes, Master.
So now, on the 7th day, King David's son passed away. Those servants close to him did not dare to tell him this news. And they talk to each other. They say, how can we even go near the king with this kind of news? He's already refusing to eat, refusing to sleep, and anything at all. Even when his son was still alive with sickness. And now, how can he bear it when we tell him that his son is dead?
Yes.
Even when the son was still there, just sick, the king already refused to eat, to drink, and did not do anything, just sat there and prayed. So now, if he knows his son is dead, how can he bear it? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So first, nobody dared to go near the king and tell him about the death of his son. So one time, during the prayers, King David just looked up a little bit and saw that his servants were loitering around and murmuring to each other. So nobody dared to tell the king this bad news. But the king saw them, loitering around and frightened. So he asked them, what is it? Is my son dead? They say, yes, Your Majesty, he is dead. Then immediately, King David stood up, went to take a shower, washed himself, and dressed up in his kingly attire again. And then he went to the dining room to eat.
Oh, wow.
And then he continued the kingly duty of his.
Wow.
His actions and attitude surprised his nearby subordinates. So they all came near him and asked him, Your Majesty, we don't understand what you are doing. When your son was severely sick, you went and sat on the dirt floor, refused to eat, and you cry and pray all the time. And then now, your son is dead. You immediately stood up, went to eat everything and drink, and then now you sat back on your throne and did your work again as usual. We do not understand. Could you please explain to us? So King David told them, when my son was still alive, I still had hope. So I went on praying, crying, hoping that God will be merciful and return his health to him and let him live. But now he is already dead. Why should I continue to pray or refuse to eat? Now I have to continue the life that I have, the duty that I must fulfill. Otherwise, I myself cannot bring him back to this life anyway. Can I? No.
No.
The king said to himself, no. Whenever the time is up, I will also have to go like him. But he will never return to me in this lifetime. So that is the story. End.
Thank you.
Everyone's surprised, huh?
Yes.
Including you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because when the son was only sick, even severely sick, the king was already showing all kinds of sorrow and desperation and praying.
Yes.
And when he died, he just became normal again. Because he knew that life is like that, When it's time to go, you go.
Right. Yes.
Everyone has to go one day from this physical world.
Right.
Yes.
He was not just a king, he was an enlightened saint.
Oh, yes.
So many people came and learned with him. Just like there was 3 brothers who came to learn with King Solomon before.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And only one of them had enough faith to continue to stay.
Right.
The other two took the gold that the king wanted them for all their time, working for him like a payment, and gone. But the youngest brother stayed and learned things that he could not even tell to the two brothers. Remember that?
Yes,
And we know what it is, don't we?
Yes.
Because at the time of initiation, we say, don't tell anyone else.
Yes.
Because if you tell, you lose. You will lose.
Right.
Now, the same King David, he's an enlightened king. Of course, when your loved ones or your son, your daughter, your family members are in a serious condition, then you pray for them, no?
That's right.
And you feel so sorry that they have to go through such tremendous pain and sickness. So, of course, you cry, you pray, you do anything you can to pray God to help that person.
Right. That's true.
But if his time is up already, he has to go, then he has to go.
Exactly. Yes.
There's nothing else you can do for him then, but let him go in peace.
Right. Yes.
So I also told you that if your parents or any of your loved ones or friends die, you don't cry. You make them delay their journey to heaven. It's better you pray for them.
That's right. Yes.
That's all you do. If they have gone, then you know they go to heaven. If you are initiated, then you don't have to cry and delay them. Make them suffer.
Right. Yes, Master.
It makes them feel sorrowful seeing you sad like that. The best is just to pray and wish them to go to higher heaven.
Right.
Right.
I told you that I read this story, not just all for you and disciples, but especially for the Russian people.
Yes.
Now that Putin is dead, you have done all your best to try to keep him alive and healthy, but his time is up, so he's gone. So the best is that you save yourself now.
Right.
Get out of his trouble. Save your soul. Repent. And repair the damage that he's done. And because you also were responsible as his supporter and subordinates, carrying out his orders and all that. But you had to. But now he's not there anymore. You don't have to. And the double that is playing Putin right now, I tell him also it's better to keep yourself alive and your family well and happy. Keep your country in peace. Stop the war now. There's no need to continue to do what Putin has done. No need to listen to anyone anymore. Putin is dead. Don't follow his footsteps because you will go to hell with him. Like any dictator.
Yes, Master.
Now it's the chance. Of course, maybe you loved him because you've been working together and it was good. You did everything you could to save him or to make him happy by listening to his orders. But now you know he's gone, his orders were not the best. So it's better you change it. And keep yourself alive doing your better duty. It's like that. There's nothing good about Russia making war everywhere up to now. It's in history already. We make the list here.
Yes, Master.
Deaths in conflicts with Russian involvement. Conflict. Russo-Japanese War, 200,000. Persian Constitutional Revolution, 1,100. Russo-Polish War, 107,500. Latvian War of Independence, 3,840. Estonian War of Independence, 5,400. Lithuanian Soviet War, 2,500. Georgian Ossetian Conflict, 5,200. Soviet-Georgian War, 8,700. August Uprising, 3,000 killed in fighting, 7,000 to 10,000 people executed. Ur-Tatagai Conflict, 12. Sino-Soviet Conflict, 6,000. Holodomor, 5 million. Battle of Xinjiang, 2,800. Border incidents with Japan, 19,133. Invasion of Poland, 160,000. Russo-Finnish War, 225,000. Berlin Uprising, 125. Hungarian Revolution of 1956, 3,700. Invasion of Czechoslovakia, 233. Soviet-Afghan War, 1,123,000. First Nagorno-Karabakh War, 56,000. Transnistria War, 1,874. War in Abkhazia, 30,000. Tajikistan Civil War, 50,000. Chechnya, First and Second War, 238,000. Russo-Georgian War, 940. War in Donbass, 14,400. Syrian Civil War, 106,195. Military presence in Sudan, 120. Second Libyan Civil War, 14,880. Military presence in Central African Republic, 15. Military presence in Mozambique, unknown. Second Nagorno-Karabakh War, 7,507. Military presence in Mali, 500. Ukraine War, 45,450. Total, 7,450,124 and counting.
Russia has been messing up in many countries, and their bloody hands have caused a lot of suffering and destruction everywhere.
Yes, Master.
Russia has been losing also all the time, up to now. They lost in Japan, they lost in Afghanistan, in Finland, etc. So why do they continue? Now they want Ukraine. Just Ukraine is so vulnerable, that's why. They cheated them, they told them to give up their nuclear weapons, and now they use the nuclear weapons to threaten the world even.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So this is kind of gangster attitude. You can't trust them anymore.
Right. Yes.
With so many countries, they have been destructing, killing, murdering, and torturing already. Not just Ukraine. So this should be the last one. It should be stopped.
Yes,
Master.
That's it. Normally, I don't talk about war or interfere, but this one is really something.
Yes, Master.
Just have no excuse at all. Just jumping people's land, robbing their things, torturing them, and making them suffer like that, just because they're bigger. It's really evil. So this war has to be stopped.
Yes,
Master. No matter how many other wars before, this war must stop. Otherwise, Europe will suffer also.
This is David Beasley. He's the man who currently runs the United Nations World Food Program. Listen to what he has to say during this speech back from February of 2022 while speaking about impoverished countries around the world.
So these are the countries that are struggling in such a way that if we do not address immediately over the next 9 months, we will see famine, we will see destabilization of nations like you are already seeing in certain places like in the Sahel, and third, you'll see mass migration.
And then, just 6 days after those warnings were made, Vladimir Putin ordered nearly 200,000 Russian soldiers to invade Ukraine. And the global food situation immediately went from bad to absolutely catastrophic. The blockade of Ukraine's ports, from the perspective of Moscow, is preventing critical food shipments from reaching hungry countries across the Middle East, North Africa, and Eastern Africa. The massive levels of instability that it's going to cause in all of these places has the very high potential to trigger another round of revolutions and mass migration that is likely headed straight in the direction of the European Union. It's going to cause one of the greatest humanitarian catastrophes of the 21st century.
The UN say that more than 100 million people will suffer because of the war in Ukraine. Suffer because of hunger.
Yes, Master.
Right.
War hunger, really. So it has to stop. Looking back at the history, Russia has been so often the aggressor. So it's better to maybe make a border or something, or checkpoint, and then have some regular flying supervising by flying on the borders to check whether or not there's any suspicious action again concerning all the neighbors around Russia. That would be better. So we would prevent further bloodshed like the one that happened in Ukraine, which is so terrible.
Yes, Master.
So Russia is losing everywhere, sooner or later,
Right.
and causing the death of hundreds of thousands or millions,
Yes, Master.
and corroding the economy of Russia and other countries as well, and making a bad name for Russia and for whoever, of course, is dictating and creating war. So do not walk that path anymore. U-turn, just U-turn. Make peace, make peace, make peace. Because if you make peace on earth, you will have peace in heaven. Or else you will be staying in hell forever. No one will help you. No million-strong armies will come and rescue you. Nothing. Even a atom bomb cannot scare hell. You will be screaming, scared, with fear, burned, hurt, in pain, agonizing in there, all alone, or with other similar sinful people. So you turn now. Stop it. Stop the war. Not just in Snake Island, but the whole of Ukraine. Leave the Ukrainian people in peace. Return the land to them. Then you will live long, and heaven may forgive you. Dear Russia, your country is blessed with a lot of spiritual power. Some people are misusing some other power to cause suffering. Don't just have goodwill over Snake Island only. Have goodwill over all Ukraine. Listen to the cries, to the anguish of the children of Ukraine, of the woman helpless in her situation when her husband died, of the elderly lady who has no one to take care of her when she is wounded. Listen to all that and more. Listen to your soldiers. They are only children. They are very young and vulnerable.
We came under mortar fire. 30 people died. The 3 of us survived. The commanders who were with us said to leave the wounded, otherwise they would not be able to escape. Here my hand was injured. I was lying and bleeding. I mean, they just ran away. I was bleeding and soldiers of the Ukrainian army approached me, gave me first aid. We were not even trained to apply a tourniquet. I did not know how to do it. They gave me water, took us out and bandaged my arm. I had it broken. There is nothing to fight for here. People like us from Russia, it is better for them to stay at home. We don't liberate anything here, we only capture. Children personally approached me, asked for something to eat and drink, because they have nothing. Their shops and houses have been bombed. Bicycles and scooters are taken away from old people. They are not allowed to move. Our Russian guys are taking it from them. Looting. This is a terrible war. It's better not to go here.
Здесь вооруженные силы Украины пытаются защитить свою страну. Мы ворвались в их дом как фашисты. Сидя сейчас, я даже вспоминаю жителей, которых я видел, жителей Украины. Возможно, они потеряли своих детей. У них настолько много злости на нашу страну. Я уверен, это никогда не простится. Но я очень прошу прощения за то, что мы ворвались в ваш дом. Это прошу прощения у жителей Украины.
I'd like to again sincerely ask the whole Ukrainian people for forgiveness.
По украинскому народу, да, я, наверное, не найду слов тех, которые бы там загладили нашу вину, поэтому я скажу просто, если найдете в себе силы, простите нас. Если нет, то, ради Бога, мы примем это как должно.
When will Russians understand that our commander-in-chief has been a liar? He didn't only tell lies to us. He told lies to the whole Russia. All mothers, please call your children who are in the military and ask them to return to Russia and not to commit any crimes against innocent civilians.
Я хочу отдельно обратиться к гражданам своей страны. Не отправляйте своих сыновей, не отправлять своих сыновей сюда, потому что здесь происходят очень страшные вещи, которые вам не говорят. Здесь напрасно погибают наши солдаты, наши товарищи, ваши дети. Пытайтесь забирать нас отсюда, потому что здесь, не нужно здесь войны. Я не вижу здесь смысла войны никакой. Нету смысла вообще.
Listen to all that. Have your heart open. Be a good leader. Be a heroic leader of Russia and in the world. Stop all this agony. Stop all these atrocities. History will write your name in gold. God will smile upon you, your loved ones, and your country. Stop all the suffering. It's very simple. Just order your children home. Order your troops home. Give the husbands back to the wives. Give the sons back to their mothers. Give the men back to your country to rebuild it again. Be great again. Make Russia great again. With benevolence, with heroism, with righteousness, with high morals, not with war, not by causing suffering and pain. Amen.
We are grateful for Most Loving Master's touching words for the Russian leaders and pray that their hearts open and they embrace the compassionate and noble way. May all world citizens join in prayer for a benevolent, vegan, peace-filled planet whereby humanity quickly elevates to reap greater dignity and prosperity. We wish Precious Master to be always in the best of health and tranquility, safeguarded by all cosmic beings. Please tune in again for the broadcast of this conference on Between Master and Disciples at a later date. Also, for your reference, please check out the previous related fly-in news or Between Master and Disciple conferences, such as Fly-in News, Treasure Others' Lives by Making Peace, Only Peacemakers Can Go to Heaven, Forgiveness Dissolves Vengeance and Brings World Peace, etc. To view these and more related fly-in news and Between Master and Disciple conferences, please visit SupremeMasterTV.com and search for Russia, Return Peace to Your Country and Ukraine.